Let's react to this. Alright. Let's go. Strange Days by Crystals, Crime, and Music.
Strange days are here again. Now I'm dancing with my imaginary friend.
In my head, they say what I need to hear, whispering lies that make my problems disappear. Then I get paranoid. Oh no, I let them in again. Should I play along? Why yes, let's play a game of pretend. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Time to let my crazy show. They feed on fears, they twist my thoughts. Act like kings, but they're just bots.
Truth is, they just fucking bore me.
Now it's my turn, I'll flip the game. Step
Yo,
inside, let's play
Thanks.
Psycho circus started. You're at my party, dearly departed. I can make this fun, do you wanna run? I'm pulling out the big one, just for fun. Pop the champagne and run, bitch, run! Strange days are back again. Still dancing with my imaginary friends. In my head they say what I need to hear on repeat till the silence disappears. 1, 2, 3, now you know. This is how I let my crazy show. They play on top my insecurities. They pretend like they've got authority.
But truth is, they just fucking bore me.
Yo, I actually really like that. That song was actually generally so good. That was actually really good. I'm hitting that like button. That was actually really good.
Good morning, guys. I am in my pajamas. Hair's a mess, no makeup. We're having one of those mornings. So the first thing I look at this morning is a Donna Seraphina live. So I decided to go over to one's 12 minutes long. The other one is 41:46. But I think it's important to go over these because this shit caused a lot of games in Summer's case. And some of the things that this woman says is absolutely, in my opinion, freaking disgusting as hell. The things she put on Summer, people, like, for instance, Shay. Jody Sue said effing Summer. Okay, out of context. But here's this woman Shay has never, ever went after. Instead, Penny, Scott, Ryan, Linda followed her clues. Okay? I want you to hear exactly how disgusting this woman gets when it comes to talking publicly about a baby girl that's missing, 5 years old. Thank you, Innocent. Mwah. I appreciate it, guys. I just want you to take a listen to the things this woman says, the things she describes in detail what might have happened to Summer. How disgusting it is, and people built her up and allowed her to go on like this is real, where YouTube creators such as Ryan Finds Truth is pinpointing every single thing she says and going to search those things. There's something fucking wrong with that. This needs to be stopped. in cases like Summers and Summers, in my opinion. But I'm going to play this first video. The second video is the one I was listening to this morning.
Hello. What I'm going to present to you is a very graphic, disturbing reality of what Summer may have faced. This is Psychic Reverend Donna Seraphina. She seems to get a really good read on the dynamics of relationships in these murder cases. She was correct in the case of JJ and Tylee. Many things have been proven correct so far.
I never heard her be correct about JJ and Tylee, but I'll tell you what I didn't hear. In court, I didn't hear Donna Seraphina on the stand in any of JJ and Tylee's cases. I don't hear the police coming out and supporting her. I don't believe she was correct in JJ and Tylee's case. I don't see her being called as a witness. I think it's bullshit. So she said, oh, what, the kids are in a yard or something? That doesn't make you correct, Donna. I don't know what it was exactly you said about JJ and Tylee, but I can tell you the police didn't use your information. So please don't go around spreading you're correct about anything unless law enforcement used you in a court setting and you actually helped get Lori Vallow convicted and Chad Daybell. Unless you have evidence that the police went by you to find them children, shut the whole fuck up.
In the case of Suzanne Morphew. In fact, every case I've followed her on so far, she ends up getting so many things right. It's pretty amazing and profound. So you're going to hear right now graphic details of what Summer Wells may have endured at the hands of some very awful people. They met her, it seems, in a public place where photos were taken of her. And from there, you will hear the rest. So, disclaimer, mediumship, the best in the world, they're about 80% right. And I have to say Donna's somewhere around there, in my opinion. Remember, this does not mean this is fact. This is what Donna picked up in her mediumship reading. So here goes. Thank you.
What I'm seeing is a little drop of blood on that mattress, but I don't know if a child that young would have something like that, but it's likely symbolic. I'm seeing an upside down gazebo, an upside down carousel. The carousel's right side up, but there's a mirror. And it's like I'm looking at a gazebo. At first it looked like an upside down gazebo, but then it looked like a reflection, like a mirror
Penny and Scott. I want Penny's content back up. Linda drove around with Chase in the car. Location that Donna Seraphina was giving. They stopped at a place where they were showing signs and damn demanding that's where Candace was that day, out of a window where you could see a sign. But there was a gazebo in the area, so they stopped. Because Donna Seraphina is the cops, Penny. Ryan. Hey, Shauna, good morning. They were going by Donna to get answers for Summer. That's how reliable those YouTube creators have been. Penny, I'd like that video put back up where you drove from location to location while you and Scott sat there commentating, showing every little detail, looking out every little frame of the video. to see exactly where Candace could have been that day while you were looking for the gazebo.
Reflection. Definitely the mirror thing is bringing up chills on my legs.
Mm,
So I'm supposed
thank
to be
you.
seeing a mirror. And I feel like we're going to be looking also for one of those places with the carousel where you ride horses. They filmed her there. They took pictures of her there. I think that might be where they originally met at.
Roll cigarette.
To those people took pictures to see if they wanted to buy her. And it's the mom I see selling her. I don't want to put the father in the picture. So in things this serious, like I like to let it just clear. I don't do that every time I'm just doing a regular reading. Sometimes it's good to let it build up, but it's something with, I guess I could do, I could do that too, but because then the energy builds, which is good. But at the same time, it is murder, and I'm making an accusation in some sense of the word. A steam engine. And it might be the park where the steam engine is. I feel like saying Tennessee Hills. I wonder if there's a brewery or winery, Tennessee Hills Brewery or winery. I'm seeing that horse stable again where when you leave the watering pond and then you see that really well-groomed horse stable. See, these people wanted to ingratiate her and have Summer go along with them until at which point, wherever point they decided not to have it go that way. But I keep getting groomed since birth, and they've said that in my ear like 5 times. Like the first time I'm like, yeah, could be, but they keep saying it. So I think essentially these are all selling points to the pedophile ring. And the thing about it is, you never know who's really involved, I'm asking for Jesus Christ. And I know that sounds weird, but I'm seeing someone stabbing her, and you'd think just a little kid would be easy just to choke. For some reason, I'm seeing someone stabbing her.
Even if these things were true, Donna, that's not for YouTube. You're a psychic. That's disgusting. This isn't a horror movie. She's a real missing child. Now, the one question I've always had for you is JLR ends up on my father's borderland, and you're in here talking about a sideways road, sidewinder road, Donna, where my father's land was. In the next video we're going to watch, you even go as far as saying your daughter had Summer on her lap. Was you there? I mean, you're giving details as if you know exactly what happened to this little girl, and they're not nice details that should be meant for YouTube. You psychics got really involved here, and you did talk to and work with Ziggy at some point, right? And Ryan, I don't think you're a real psychic. That's my opinion. And I don't think you have a right to comment such disgusting things on a missing child. As creators, we're here to share this girl and get her face out there so that in hopes that she might be found. Why would you put more tragedy on her? It's gross. But let's listen to how gross you get, how graphic you get.
And this guy, it's almost like theater. Like he's dressed like some kind of character. Gross. Like, okay, I'm seeing a knife being used. Chris and Jeff. So I'll look up any names. I mean, there could be a cross street named Christian and Jefferson, you know what I mean? Or it could be two brothers, or it could be two people. Just pops into my, or it could be mind garbage. So it just popped into my head. Okay, I'm seeing going to one of these underwater. Well, what I'm seeing is, where I live at SeaWorld, and that you go under and you watch the fish through the, or you watch the orca whale or whatever through the, aquarium. Part of the reason, I feel like part of the reason they brought her here is like, I wonder if they're middlemen. But anyways, okay, so like they want pictures of her being this normal girl, right? And then they probably put that in the catalog, and then for X and X price, you get access to see X and X and X, and then, all the way up into. But it feels like they would have kept her around for years, but it was too high risk. So we had to do a standard dozier. I don't have to look that up. DOZIER, dozier. We had to do a standard dozier. I don't know what that means. I don't want to move forward to myself and say like they had to come to a decision about it, because just of the chance of it getting tracked back to them just with so much attention and focus. Okay, so now I'm seeing a couch. The couch has a pillow on it. Summer wants to go home now. Like she misses her mom and dad. But they're trying to act nicer and saying, "This is your new home, see? Don't you like us?" And blah, blah. They told you to come with us. It's mind blowing that grown men would hurt a child like that, Okay, so I don't need to see any more about it. I'm asking my spirit guides to clear that.
You said that as if it really happened. It's really gross to hear a grown man would do a child like that. Donna, you're making it like you knew that happened this summer. Because it's a psychic reading, it's in your head. It's not fucking real. It's not law enforcement stated. This was early on in 2021. I don't know how anybody supports you after the things you say about missing children. Even if they were true, wouldn't you go to the police and not YouTube? It's a money-making scheme. All the psychics out here that cover these missing kids and get so gross in detail, like I get it, you want to be a psychic, you want to have content. This is too far. Ziggy shows a lot of these psychics. A lot of them connect to Donna Seraphina, I'm betting. Are you the leader, Donna? I'd like to know if you ever lived in Florida. Or do you have connections to Florida? I'm really curious. This is not right. Quit doing this in missing children's cases. It's gross. And Shay, you're right. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with any psychics with this either, except for the weird part about that is Dawn actually did work with Dusty. And she was a psychic. And she came from Ziggy and Ernie. He didn't present her as a psychic, but I've covered it. Dawn definitely was working with psychics. It's a little bit weird. Go back to my content sometime between a year and 8 months ago. I definitely covered Dawn, Dusty, Ziggy, Ernie, Jody, since Jody was saying, oh, all the psychics, day one, day one, day one. Dawn was talking to Dusty, day one. It's true. It's there. It's strange, in my opinion. Crystal, there's a news video of June 2021. There was an overhead shot of their home. Notice how clean their yard is. Yeah. Then a month later, it was wrecked with dogs tearing up trash when Chris got there. I wouldn't be able to clean either, Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'm not saying that. One of the things I feel weird is if the police did a thorough search, why was all the belongings from the school bus still in the school bus? One problem I've always had is I felt like this property wasn't searched thoroughly based off of that school bus being packed from top to bottom, front to back, and nothing being out because the police don't clean up after they trash your home, right? And you would think they would take the dogs down there and clear some of that school bus out, but they didn't. And that bothers me. So, speaking of the clean yard, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, it don't. Yeah, I know. It was Grandis's junk. They didn't unload anything. That's fine, but that doesn't mean Summer couldn't have been put on that bus after being harmed, hidden under something. If something were to happen to her, tragic. If. I'm not Donna Seraphina. I'm not going to come out here and say that did happen. I'm just saying it just shows to me that Ellie didn't do a really good job searching the property. In my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe they tore it all out and put it all back on the bus. But you would think when you're searching for a little kid, you leave no turn left turned, right? Just my opinion. That school bus always bothered me. How do you know they didn't say? Oh, I'm sure they did, except for where would the dogs would have gone? I mean, that bus was packed. There was nowhere, like the dogs couldn't have gone onto the bus to even sniff around. There was nothing, there was no room. According to the windows of that bus, it was packed. So, how would the dogs have gotten on there in the middle of a big bus to smell? I'll show pictures one day because that really wasn't my topic today, but I would have removed, as a police officer, everything from that school bus and every other nook and cranny. Maybe that's just me and my thinking. Maybe they have another way of going about it that I don't know. I had heard that the doors was locked and they didn't bother it. Don't know if it's true. Well, that's what it looks like to me, Shay. I mean, in my opinion, looking at it, that's what it looks like to me. Which means, in my opinion, if that is true, that the police didn't do a thorough job searching for Summer on that property. Just my opinion. Okay, let's go back to this video.
Please, and then just if there's any so there's men that like to also see little girls cry by hurting them, mocking them. I feel like a good snuff film could bring in about 50 grand or something like that. Dime a dozen. So there's men that like to also see little girls cry by hurting them, mocking them. I feel like a good snuff film could bring in about 50 grand or something.
Why, Donna? Do you mention 50 grand? Like, Dawn, a snuff film to bring in about 50 grand. Miss Seraphina, do you know something? That's an odd statement. This was September 1st, 2021, and this is only a portion. Sweetie Pie Low had a whole live. Donna did her own live, so I'm going to say this was done early August of 2021. Do you know how many people went on Miss Seraphina to talk about a snuff film because of your statements like they were real? Or Darren from Bewitched. Do you know how many rumors you possibly started? Unless there's truth to this, because a psychic network is quite amazing when you connect Ziggy to it. All her little Miami connections, psychic shops. Has anybody ever lived in South Beach or visited there for a long extent period of time? For my chat, do you know how big those are down there? They're a money maker. The tourists come down. You can get your tea leaves read, you can get your palm read, you can get a tarot card reading. They pretty much do anything. Actually, one time when I was down there, I had my tea leaves read. Funny, right in the same area as my stepmother's sister's little psychic shop down on 13th, 14th Street, where Ziggy's from, where my father lived. Very strange. I want you to know that psychics ain't real. This psychic is not real. Okay? I grew up around that, sort of. As I was a teenager, I learned more about it when I went down to visit my dad. They're definitely there for money. And they don't believe what they tell you. They laugh as they collect your money. Do I believe in a spiritual being, or there might be somebody out there that knows something or something God sent? Yeah, I believe in the Bible. However, this shit is gross. The rumors you started snuff films, Darren, gazebos, blood spots on a mattress. These men did these things to her. I can't believe adult men would do this to a little girl. It's grotesque. It doesn't belong in a missing child's case. And I know I sound really serious right now, but it grosses me the fuck out. Dogs found people in the Trade Center rubble. They did. They did. You're right. Morning, Daphne. You started a million rumors in Summer's case. I want to know why certain creators followed your pinpoints and your direction. Ryan, you're welcome to grab a link anytime. I mean, you have a problem with me, and you and Squall became buddies, right? Didn't you say that in my chat? Squall's behind the scenes still working in Summer's case to cause problems. You've had conversations with Squall. She just caused a bunch of shit and disappeared. Kind of gross. Let's finish.
Dime a dozen. Little girls in the countryside get sold cheap. Some just brutal things. I don't think there's any point to see any of that. I think what it is if she dead in real life, if she's dead, which unfortunately appears to be the case. Where is she buried? What they did her? Where they buried her is down a hill. Because you would definitely not be able to walk. You have to put yourself sideways and go down sideways like that. You could step conceivably sideways, but you couldn't go straight down, or you'd fall. But if you put your legs, feet sideways to the mountain, sideways to sideways, so it would look for someone named Sideways Mountain, Sideways Road, that kind of thing.
Sidewinder Road, Donna. Sidewinder Road, possibly. What do you know? Hold on, guys. I decided I want to show something again. This is JLR ignoring a question. I asked him who sent him to my father's land on Sidewinder Road and why he was there, why you would choose that border. I went over that the other day, but I also want to show you Jonathan, do you know Donna? Jonathan Lee Riches, do you know Donna? Seraphina, did you know my dad? I don't understand why that's such a hard question. You could give any answer, but however, you're having a hard time answering that. You're completely ignoring it, even so much so you would ignore a super chat, right? Hold on, guys. I'm just looking for a video. It should be coming up here soon. Man, am I scrolling? It's my birthday. Let me go. I'm allowed to do this. This is my father's land JLR was on. That's the little fishy trailer that my father didn't really live in. Lots of weird shit. But hold on, let's do this. Because I don't feel like scrolling through that again. I think you all need to go back and look at all the things Jonathan Lee Riches has done. Let me go back to my channel. Throughout his life and his prison terms. There's creators out here that people follow that I feel should not be followed by any means. You could think that of me too. But you've never seen me go to the lengths that some of these creators have done. What I'm looking for is a video. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not looking at chat. But what I'm looking for is a video of Jonathan Lee Riches on my father's land, on the gas station land where my father got his mail. Winter Haven, 611 Sidewinder Road is the address of the gas station, and it connects all the way down to my father. There was something funky with the sale of this land. I can't remember what it was, but I remember when it happened years ago. Somebody else had control the deed, wouldn't give my dad the deed. My dad made payments on the land. His friend guy says it is in his name. However, my dad ran this land, and he also had a home in Mexico that he lived in. Jeez, did I post this that long ago? I might have to come back and show this at a different time. I've shared it. It's just really far down. I probably should have found it before I went live. But what it is, yeah, guys, I just post a lot of shit. It's going to take me a while to find it. I'll show it next time. What it is Jonathan Lee Rich's driving on my father's land. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Daphne. The bus trail and the trail behind the other old house used to be there bothered me. Well, I think that what they didn't show, Shay, is we hear the dogs hit on the driveway. I think there's a connection from the dog trail to the bus trail that could cross over if somebody came to abduct Summer, and they still could have gone down to the driveway. So we haven't seen the whole, we just seen what they showed, but yeah, it bothers me too. Did I miss anything else? Thank you. Okay, let me go back to Donna. I will find that video of Jonathan on the borderland and show it. I've shown it before.
Let's see. I've seen a newspaper article of them being arrested, so I don't know if that's for past offense or for the future. I see Summer, so it might be that
On a birthday boy.
they will get arrested. All spirit energy. So they're gonna get arrested. Well, they lead Summer. Someone will make a deal and lead Summer to the body of Summer. Probably. I got some spirit energy on that. That's what's gonna happen. And so that's how they'll find her body. But it's like, okay, so I'm gonna look up the carousel. This seems like both parents were in agreement about her. Candace wanted to make sure to get rid of her before kindergarten. Was hoping to get rid of her before kindergarten started, so there'd be less notice of it.
More rumors.
And I feel like
Seraphina.
It was arranged through mutual sex offender friends. Got some spirit energy. It's not super big.
Marion, it wasn't Boogie. They showed a picture of the man. The man was grown. He was in his 40s or 50s, and they tried to pass it off as Jody Sue's son. It didn't look nothing like Jody Sue's son. Did Jody Sue and him have something to do with it? I don't know. But I know that incident is fake, in my opinion. Yeah. I think people need to look into Jonathan Rich's past. I think that might be something that I do with you guys. Did you know he was like on a terrorist list and he hated America? Like, y'all need to look into him and the things he's done throughout his life. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Big chills. Putting that up, and then they have sex offender friends, and then it's a friend of a friend of a friend of a thing like that. Or were they contacted? I don't know. Let me see. Back to the carousel. Twin. There's a really weird reflection. It's like it's a carousel. It's like it's a real one in a way that they bring her to, but then there's a mirror underneath, and it's like you see straight down, like if it was a toy carousel. So they act to Summer like they're going to be super nice to her, buy her an ice cream cone, gain her but her parents told her to go. That trade-off for money may have happened at that carousel.
So now you can see why we've kind of wanted to keep it hush hush, sort of. It's so graphic and it's so disturbing, and it makes some accusations that are completely awful to ever accuse anybody of. But the reality is, usually when Donna sees something, it's for a reason. She does have a tremendous ability to tap into.
Usually, when the police want somebody's help, they'll go to them. It's not real, Sweetie Pilo. How do you know Donna? Why do you put all her stuff out? Like, y'all be girl on girl type shit. Like, what's going on? Is that your mom? You related to her? What's your real name? Where are you from? I'm curious why you come out here and build Donna so high while these other YouTube creators take her for truth and follow every single thing she does. Oh, I'm not taking her for truth. I do absolutely believe there's a psychic network laundering money here on YouTube. And I know that Donna has spoken behind the scenes to all of them. And I'm curious. Listen. Even the big psychic Donna Seraphina. Sweetie Pilo. You're very welcome to grab a link over here. I invite you to. I would like to go over this with you, and I would like to know what makes Donna psychic. When did she get her abilities? How many police cases have actually used her? Where did she testify in court? I'm not saying police don't use psychics. I just want to see where Donna testified in court, how many times that this is truth. It's too graphic for YouTube in a missing child's case, and it's disgusting. We're supposed to be here to share Summer's picture, tell a little bit of her story, to the point that people all over the world can see her face and help us find her. This is grotesque. I keep saying it. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's inhumane, in my opinion. I don't know. They're a little close. Could be. Okay, let's move on. I have part 2. This one's 40. So now the 12-minute video goes down to 41:46. And that wasn't even the whole reading from the first one. I'll find it. I've played it before. I'll find it. That was just a clip. And I'm probably not going to stay real long because it is my birthday. I wanted to do an hour morning live, and then I'm going to come back later. And I'm going to go over I still have to do look, it's still up. The Benny and Tiffany, they were getting ready to talk about Linda. But I seen this morning, literally woke up and got on within like 15, 20 minutes because this just reminded me how disgusting it is when I seen it. So we'll listen for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. She said she's a frat. I don't remember that. I feel like she was already big before Summer. Shay. Just confusing. I don't know. I don't know much about her. I just know what I heard them say. All right, so I'm just going to sit back and let you listen to how I have nothing really more to say. It's gross. I'm going to sit back and let you listen to the next 15 minutes of this. We could finish playing it tonight when I come live. I got some things I got to do around here and figure out what I'm doing. My daughter's making me my daughter-in-law is making me wings tonight. I guess the family's coming over. I don't know. I don't know what the day holds, but I just wanted to get this out there because it disturbed me this morning waking up. And I didn't do a live yesterday, so I figured I'd come on early.
Okay, I am feeling rising spirit energy, so I appreciate that. For some reason, I'm seeing John Bonet. And I'm seeing the blonde guy who lived in a trailer park or something like that. I don't know if the blonde guy lived in the trailer park or the guy who told on the blonde guy lives in the trailer park. I can't remember, but the blonde guy that was the suspect. Don't know why I'm seeing him. It seems to have to do with his haircut, and I wouldn't call it so much a mullet. Okay, so what they're showing me is they're showing me different characters because of all these YouTube videos. So they're showing me the guy who put the wreath on the church. Is he a sex offender? Does he? I get a little spirit energy. Does he know of sex offenders? Oh, okay, I shouldn't be asking. It could be that they're running me through all these characters because then they're going to show me which ones it's not and stuff like that. So I'm not seeing the person doing anything wrong. And I got chills on my legs. Yeah. So I think they're just kind of acknowledging all these different things that people have been sending me. I feel like some sort of candy cane house or gingerbread house. I mean, I see gingerbread house, but I feel like calling it the candy cane house. And the reason I feel like calling it that is because like the doorways look like they're made of candy canes. And then the grandma comes into my awareness. Then they're showing me the Jose guy, and then they gave me the feeling of Candace making a actual deal where he could do something to Summer. And that might actually be what Dawn was actually mad about. Rather than Candace sex with Jose, it would be Candace selling Summer to Jose. I have this peaceful, floaty energy, but I don't have chills on my legs about that, so I don't know if it's true or not. I think I'll only on this put up anything on the internet if I have chills about it. I'm seeing things crossing over, like if you made a zigzag part in your hair and crossed it over, and it's not necessarily a zigzag thing in someone's hair, but I'm just seeing maybe a drawn or a pattern of that. So if there's a name of a pattern like that, or if it will come up, it's like, I'm sure it was never done in Summer's hair, but I'm not, yeah, I got chills. Yeah, it was never done in Summer's hair. So, and it's not necessarily someone's hair either. It could be like on a drawing. It could be like a basket, handle. Could be anything, but there's a pattern about that. You know, when you, back in the 60s, we thought it was fun to take like the juicy fruit gum or the double mint gum and make those long kind of ropes where you folded the papers over each other.
I never played with chewed gum. Did any of you? I'm from the 70s and 80s. I'm 48 today. I never played with chewed gum. That's kind of gross, but okay if y'all did that in the 50s and 60s.
This is an actual clue, surprisingly. I got chills on my legs. I don't know if it's the devilment or the making that gum thing. Yeah, that making that gum thing is actually a clue. It's a clue.
Did the police say
Somebody will know what I'm talking about. It'll just come in somewhere. That's an actual clue.
that was a clue, Donna?
Okay. I'm just seeing this murder again, and it's really horrific. There's no point in me saying what I see. And then I start saying, oh, I must, but it's men like to hurt little girls. They like to hurt them. There's no sex about this, or there's no pedophilia. They're thinking they're doing something. I can't say about what with Dawn, but with who's hurting Summer this bad right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I see. I actually used to monitor sex offenders in the community, which I understand.
Did you? Could you show your credentials? Because right now I just want to give you a big fuck you. You really said that. These men are hurting Summer so bad right now. You used the words right now. Was that a threat? Why would you get on here and say that? Scott Penny, put True Crime Commentary's channel back to the way it was. I'm begging you. I want to see how you followed Donna Seraphina's pinpoints. Ryan threatens to strike. You're not allowed to show his content, but he's here for Summer. Anybody is welcome to share my content at any time. Whether you like me, whether you hate me, I would never strike you because I want this little girl's face out there and I want answers for Summer. I want justice. Unfortunately, I agree, Miss Seraphina, that something bad happened to Summer, in my opinion. However, I wouldn't get this graphic and disgusting. And I still have a glimmer of hope. You don't put that in there at all. There's always hope. You're gross. Morning, Winged. How are you? Morning, Dippy. How are you? Something, Helen. Would you ever get out here? Scott called her out, but later apologized. Yeah, and they followed all of her tips, all of her clues. That is a real clue. Yeah. Even when people don't like me, I wouldn't strike nobody for sharing a missing child. Her face started with an Amber Alert. They want her shared, but correctly.
And about Dawn Wells. But what I'm just talking about now specifically is isolating this final incident. And I got a rise in spirit energy about that. And Jackrabbit runs so fast. They're showing me specifically, I'm seeing putting the back feet before the front feet before flying, jumping through the air. That's how they run so fast. I didn't get any chills with that, so I'm not going to upload it. I'm not going to upload anything unless I get chills. Or at least a wave of spirit energy. Because I don't want to be accusing people of things. I just don't. Can I get the spirit energy if Summer is deceased? Well, what I'm seeing is my daughter holding Summer on her lap. She's hugging her. Summer's bare feet and dirty, and she's trying to show. So,
I got a little farther than this, watching this. And she goes on to tell us her daughter's alive. She sees her daughter holding Summer in her lap. I'm going to end this here because I do want to come back later. This was an impromptu live. You see, I actually bought this. It's a dress. It's a t-shirt dress, but it's really comfortable. And I turned it into a nightgown, but I might just leave it on today. But I got to do my makeup and hair and go wake my family up, have breakfast. So I'm going to end this here. I hope so. I hope that you're right, Daphne. I really do. Don't want to accuse but label Summer. Right. I agree with that statement. All right. I'm going to get going. Peace and love. I'm going to try to come back like 2, 3 o'clock after I've woken everybody up. And then tonight, I want to come back and it'll probably be, thank you, Tina. It'll probably be not true crime commentary, true crime content. I want to like listen to music. They'll probably take my stream down. I don't really have many plans for today. My husband took me clothes shopping the other day and we're going out to dinner tomorrow at a real nice restaurant in Mount Washington, I think. That's what we're doing. So today is just sort of a chill day with my family. They'll probably, they're cooking me dinner and stuff. So I have time today. So I'm going to come back probably about 2 or 3, and then I'll be back later and we'll have an hour-long birthday party. Okay? Gemini season. I love being a Gemini. I do. Thank you, Tina. All right, guys. Peace and love. I'll see you about 2, 3 o'clock. We'll finish this, and I want to go over at least another hour of Tiffany. We are 2 hours and 32 hours in of 4 hours and 20 minutes. So we got like 2 more streams left with her. Have a good day. See you guys all at 2 or 3. We are going to finish this. Thank you, Moonshine Girl. All right. Talk to you all later. Bye.